Hello everyone and welcome to our online English lesson on fake news and media literacy in the 21st century. My name is Valentina and I work as an English language teacher at the University of Singidunum. We know that fake can be used with a smile, or we can have, God forbid, a fake friend or fake passport. We can put on fake fur. But recently the phrase fake news has been often heard, used and even misused in various contexts. The topic of fake news is really important because we consume different types of news using different media on a daily basis, but we are not always fully aware of the impact on our lives. And this lesson will give you a broader understanding of the term fake news and the techniques to identify and avoid sharing fake news. In the first place, let's see what fake news means. It means news stories that are not true. Fake news is not only false news. It is also created to damage a person, a business or agency, to get attention or get clicks on the internet. So, I want to encourage you to think about this issue and how it applies to you and your life. And these questions can help us get started reflecting on our own experience. So, for the beginning, some food for thought. The first question is, how do you primarily get your news? It means, what media do you use? Is it TV, newspapers, social media, online media sites? And the second question I want you to think about is, how do you know if what you read, hear, or listen to in the news is trustworthy? And the crucial question we need to ask ourselves is as follows. How confident are you that you would know fake news if you saw it? And now this question makes us think. Is the news I'm reading or sharing true? We all want to be independent, smart consumers of different kinds of media and news, and we want to avoid being fooled or tricked. Right, we want to be this smiley person here who is confident and who recognizes the false or fake news. Now, if you're ready, let's see what strategies we can use if we want to develop the skill how to distinguish between fake and real news. And there are 5 key questions we can ask. The first question is, where does the information come from? The second one is, when was the post put online? Who created the information? What does the post or website look like? And why was it created? All these questions help us fight fake news. And I'm going to elaborate on all these questions separately. The first one is, where does it come from? Now, look at the URL. URL, it means the address on using www. Does it look familiar or credible? And the tip is, websites with these URLs are usually legitimate. .com, .org, net, edu meaning educational, gov meaning government. On the other hand, fake websites have URLs that end with lo, com, .co, or these addresses are incomplete. Another help how to recognize fake websites is they usually have similar names to authentic sites. So they look in a similar way, but they are not what we want them to be. Another question is, when? When was the news posted? So what's the date on the post? Is the date real? Is the post recent? Fake news is often posted on dates which do not exist. For example, the 30th of February or on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Always check the date. Sometimes the news was posted years ago, but is still being circulated as news. Another very important question we need to ask is who created the information? Who wrote the article? Or in this case, who took the photo? Real photos or articles should always give the name of the person who wrote them or who took them. Now, look at these photos carefully. What do you think? Could they have been photoshopped? Now check suspiciously, please. You can do a reverse Google image search. But now look carefully at these images. And you can't trust everything you see online. Now this magical castle that probably most of us would like to visit or even stay in is unfortunately a combination of a photo rock in Thailand and a castle in Germany. And another example of digital deception is this image received a lot of attention online and people from all around the world started to send in their own photoshopped images of the rice wave. So we call it the rice wave. However, the photo itself is already fake, since the rice wave is a sculpture that is sold in a fake shop in Tokyo. And this has been taken from board Panda, and you can find some other nice photoshopped images that tricked many people around the world. The fourth question is, what does the post or website look like? So look at the layout, how it looks like, right? Is the website well presented, carefully organized, meaning there is a whole team of people working for it? How about the headline? Is it sensational, like "you'll never believe it," or "shock you," or "got to see this"? So is it sensational? If it is, and you click, then it's a clickbait. And these are typical clickbaiting headlines. I hope you avoid clicking these headlines and at least be smart when you do so. Another thing is about our section with contact information. Reliable and credible sites have this section. And correct spelling and grammar. If some article is full of mistakes, it means it hasn't been proofread. So someone just put it to attract someone's attention or had some other intentions. Speaking of intentions, we ask the question, why was it created? So what was the intention of the person who put it? So we need to ask the question, does it inform? Is it neutral? Does it entertain us, which is great? Or maybe warn? Does it threaten, shock, persuade, frighten? Or does it embarrass anyone? Or is there some other hidden reason? And this brings us to some new words related to this topic. And now I want you to think about these issues. This is a question. A type of practical joke that is meant to embarrass or hurt people. Is it called a bad joke, or a stupid, or a hoax? So, what do you think of these terms? If it's a practical joke and meant to embarrass someone, it's called a hoax. A hoax. Again, a common word we can hear these days. We also can hear that we live in post-truth era. Does it mean that it's based on people's emotions and beliefs rather than on based facts? Or is it something that comes after truth? Or is it just a false era? So when we say that we live in post-truth era, it means we live in an era based on people's emotions and beliefs. So we create our thoughts, our arguments based on just beliefs, not facts or emotions, and we need to fight it. We also hear the term, is it conspiration or conspiracy or false theory, when we want to give an explanation of an event or a situation that is different from the official account. So is it conspiration or conspiracy or false theory? Yes, it's conspiracy theory. Conspiracy. And finally, if we want to be literate and avoid being the opposite, is it unliterate, non-literate, or illiterate? What can we do? So if someone is not literate, he is illiterate. Now, speaking of literacy and illiteracy, being literate or illiterate, znači govorimo o pismenosti, pismen, nepismen, I would like to finish this lesson with the notion of what it means to be literate in the 21st century. The word literacy usually describes the ability to read and write. When we start school, we just start learning how to read and write. We can be literate or illiterate, right? However, the media we consume nowadays, it's not only TV, radio, and newspapers. We also read and send text messages, memes. We watch viral videos, social media, very popular, video games as well, and advertising. So we read and create different types of texts. And then media literacy is an essential skill in the digital age, because being literate in the 21st century includes many things, and one of them being media literacy. And media literacy is the ability to access and identify different types of media, all those we have mentioned. And we need to understand these messages, and we need to evaluate them critically, and finally create, manipulate, share with other people. So being media literate, why is it important? Because it means being able to think critically, become a smart consumer of products and information. We need to create media responsibly and identify the role of media in our culture, and to get back to our topic, to spot fake news. The message is, we can't stop fake news from being made, but we can stop sharing it. And together, we can turn around the post-truth world. It's a nice quotation. And do your best to be responsible in your media consumption, and equally importantly, in sharing news. Thank you for your attention, and stay smart users of any kind of news and information.